OT, baby. I'm not doing the hand job. I was never a cheerleader.
It was good.
Harris is so good at it. Harris is on vacation. She's back next week, but she does the dance. She was a cheerleader, I believe. I was so far from being a cheerleader. I was this snarky when I was 15. So, like, I can't do the hand gestures. Dean, it's so great to have you.
It's wonderful to be here.
What of all the stories?
I've danced with Harris, by the way.
Yeah. You have danced with
Mama
Harris.
can dance a little too.
Yeah. Yes, she can.
At the Correspondence Center, we did it this last. I was there at the last one.
Yeah, I forgot about
She's
that.
She's a good date.
Yes.
We had a lot of fun.
I did not go to that this year. Okay, I just want to pivot off what we were talking about with CNN with this Reddit user. So I have a lot of friends who are on Reddit. It's known as the homepage of the internet because it gets such huge traffic. My brothers go on Reddit all the time. The idea of making a joke where you're like making fun of CNN, which is a obviously important news story at the moment, and then this entire network is going to put all their resources to finding you, tracking you down, and then essentially threatening you with extortion. Is that what you said, Judge?
Extortion, coercion.
A lot of those urgings. It's awful. It's ridiculous. You can't take a joke. I mean, it was clearly a joke. There was no one going to go harm a reporter because of that. Especially in the light of like the Steve Scalise shooting and the real shooting, something like that really happening. That wasn't. I mean, it was such a clear, jokey GIF, meme, whatever it is, it's ridiculous. And it's actually really desperate of CNN to do something like that.
Yeah, but can you see them? We got to get this guy. We got to find out who this guy is. Let's find him. Let's bring out our best investigators. Get the best forensic experts.
Yeah.
Get the best. I mean, get over it.
You know what it reminds me of?
And then it's probably like a guy that lives in Des Moines that works at Best Buy who's just a normal average Joe, and he's like, what is going on?
Well, also,
getting a phone call
the
from
horse
CNN.
was out of the barn. You know, I mean, it was already, I don't understand the idea of going after him after the fact. Like, the meme was already out there. Everybody had already had their
because they wanted to
laugh
threaten him. That goes to their intent. The horse was out of the barn, but they figure we're going to shut this guy down. And that's what they're trying to do.
Was he making so many memes, though? I mean, this was just one that was out there, right?
They wanted him
somehow
to
got an enemy?
apologize and go to confession and say that I'll never do it again.
How dare you blaspheme in the house of
identify
CNN?
him as a bad person. I've been a racist, a sexist, a homophobe. I've been this, that, so that they could then pile on. It was very interesting the way they said that he had done other horrible gifs before. GIFs?
By the way, this is all legal to do on the internet.
Computer
You do
stuff.
anything illegal.
It
You do it
reminds
all
me,
the time.
though, of a certain story of a guy who made a YouTube video. And then the Benghazi got blamed on that whole situation.
And they put him in jail.
And the spontaneous.
And you know what? That's their reaction. It's the first thing Hillary Clinton says. We're going to get this guy. We're going to put him in jail. No, wait a minute, Hillary. That guy had a First Amendment right to make that video. Shame on you. But you know why they put him in jail? Because he had violated the conditions of his probation.
They found a reason to get him in jail.
Yeah, but let's find anything we can to prosecute.
Well, that's like that the thing with Mueller right now. Let's find anything we can.
That's why it's scary.
to find. It's a witch hunt. It's going to go somewhere, but not where they said it's going to start. Yeah, they're looking for anything.
Moving forward, Putin tomorrow. Like I said, must-see TV, obviously. Trish, what do you think? What are you expecting?
Look, I think there's going to be a lot of posturing. I think there are places and opportunities for us to work with Vladimir Putin and for us to work with Russia, certainly when it comes to confronting ISIS. However, you got a series of problems that are right in front of you right now, specifically with Bashar al-Assad in Syria. And Melissa, you were talking about this earlier, who's going to control the Middle East going forward? I think Putin wants influence there. He wants to be in charge of those oil reserves, and Syria is a big component of that. So that's going to be a big issue. NATO is going to be a big issue. And of course, the question is he going to confront Vladimir Putin about the whole, Russia meddled in the election?
Well, I don't think so either. I don't think so.
I mean, that's ridiculous because he's already denied it anyway. So, I mean, what's the point of confronting him about this when he's denied he had anything to do with it? I mean, you might as well. It would take all of 3 seconds. I can't believe you did this. No, I didn't. Okay. Right?
And there's the whole conversation.
And by the way, we probably do the same thing to them, right?
So
he can flip it on its head and say, hey, United States of America, President
I
Trump,
think we should be as tough as Barack Obama. Cut it out.
I was like, what?
Obama said, cut it out.
Yeah, that's always helpful.
That worked. It worked perfectly.
I think one thing that's going to be interesting to watch back to the Putin meeting tomorrow is that you have this axis of testosterone, they're calling it. Angela Merkel has to sit there and kind of battle with, you have Erdogan coming from Turkey, Putin coming out of Russia, and President Trump coming out of America, and you have these three men with so much swagger that are kind of sit there and try and see who's the alpha dog. Angela Merkel, who, you know, is pretty tough herself. It'll be interesting to watch the dynamic of all of them getting together.
You know, I'm not worried about Angela Merkel.
No,
I'm not worried about any woman in any setting. You know, as long as she is an equal, she can kick butt the way they can.
And she's lasted a pretty long time. I mean, she's been in office about 13 years.
Yeah, she
didn't last that long, not being able to tangle.
I wonder how much longer. We were talking about this earlier. I mean, I think Germany's in a pretty tough spot right now because of her policies. She has opened the borders, and you've got over 1 million refugees, or migrants as some like to refer to them, coming into that country and bleeding the resources economically and then socially struggling because they're not integrating the way they need to for that mission to be deemed a success for her. I mean, and politically, she might be very challenged.
And she and Trudeau are really the last of these liberal progressives that took over globally. And then obviously there was a complete wave that took over completely the opposite. Well, obviously led by President Trump. So, and if we go by my polling when I was playing blackjack with my German friends, who were, by the way, there on a bachelor party, and I'm sure really wanted to talk politics, but they actually didn't like her. They were defensive over how President Trump treated her, but they also agreed that her time had sort of run its course and it should come to an end.
Well, the other problem that she has is not only is the country sort of overrun with violence down in different parts, and that's a huge problem, but they're also writing the check for all of Europe. I mean, forget that they set up this system that really benefited them initially because then they had this huge market that could buy their goods and they had a common currency, and it was great for Germany. But now the bill has come due, and their entire working population is supporting all of these countries that like to sit back and get handouts. So she has both the economic pressure, and then she also has the pressure of the violence that's going on and the lack of law and order in her country. So the things that she's sown that are not working out.
And I wonder how accurate statistics are in Germany as to, you know, the crime rate, as to, you know, the incidents that are occurring. I mean,
not so accurate,
you've got the economic factor, you've got the crime factor. Crime impacts any country or any city in terms of whether or not businesses are going to come there, residents are going to live there. I mean, crime is fundamental.
And you were just there, correct?
Yeah, I was just in Munich. And Munich had a share of interesting situations, and I spoke to a lot of people there, a lot of the citizens that live there, and they, just like, you know, people will quietly tell me, you know, oh, hey, I like you as Superman, and I like your political views. They would tell me, you know, I'm not real comfortable with what's going on here, and I spoke to a man, to a woman. I spoke to people. What I mean is like every person I spoke to basically said something about it and the negative effects it was having.
How could anybody be comfortable? I keep going back to this. We've shown these pictures on the show I'm on Fox Business. You have a man's hand grabbing at a woman's backside. She's in a swimsuit, and they're posting these in all the pools around Germany, which, by the way, is very much part of the German culture. People go for a swim. That's normal.
Is it?
And now women feel that they can't go swimming in their local town pool or wear a bathing suit because they might get grabbed. I mean, that is...
They're gonna get grabbed.
Think about what happens at night with young women going to clubs. I mean, you know, everyone is very, you know, with it in terms of the way they dress. I mean, this is a big problem. Not just the pool.
But it's not just in Germany. I have a friend who's going to Paris this weekend for a wedding, and she's Jewish, and she's very concerned about the rise of anti-Semitism. Obviously, terrorism happening. I guess she's going to the outskirts of the city, and she's very concerned about her and her children. So you're not just talking about Germany, you're talking about all of Europe. And by the way, pretty cosmopolitan cities. Paris, obviously, where you just went, and Hamburg. Where did you go?
I was in Munich, but I'm headed over to Europe again next week. I'll be over there. I've been over there a lot lately, and it's very real and very prevalent.
I will say you should take solace in the fact that there are areas in France when women try and wear the burkini, with the Birkin bathing suit where they're completely covered. They do not allow it. As soon as someone gets in the water, they are on it. They make them get out of the water because they don't want that kind of culture assimilating into their country. Like, we are France. You can go topless if you want, but we are not going to start shaming women by their bodies. And I think that is something that Germany could definitely take a page from.
I'll be complete 100% honest here. I prefer topless to a burkini. I'm just saying it. It's just, if
Well,
it's out there.
the hotel that they just sent us to for Outnumbered in Vegas, the Encore, is European style, so you can do that in America too. Yeah, that was quite a shock to me.
You had a really interesting trip. Now you say that you guys were only there for a second, but
well, I had gone myself for just fun.
Travel a lot.
It was a fun business.
And I like to gamble. I know.
Did you win anything?
I did. I always win. I just won this weekend at MGM
What is your
in DC.
game?
Blackjack and roulette and craps if I'm drunk. Thank you so much. Outnumbered Overtime. Thank you so much, Judge Jeanine. Thank you, Dean Cain. Thank you. Always keeping it classy. I'll see you back again tomorrow, same time, same place.